Well, today we were out shooting my Swiss 550-55X family, whatever you want to call it. And we have shooting up, you'll see. Starting off, we have a gun here that I'd wanted for a very long time. And frankly, they were always out of my price range. This is a SIG SG550-1. This is a pre-ban imported gun. And no, I didn't suddenly luck into $10,000. I lucked into this one. The story is in the blog of how I was able to get it for a good price and the whole story there, so you can see exactly how I got lucky on this one. A few compromises, but it worked out. This is the semi-automatic version of the Swiss military rifle, the Stg W9d, which is their current issue rifle, which is adopted officially in 1990. It was developed throughout the 70s and early 80s, beginning with the 540, working into the 541, and so on. Again, you can read in the blog about all of that. They were going to adopt these in 1984, but budgetary constraints, cutbacks, and a few manufacturing issues prevented them. They went into production in 1986. That's why we have a few of them as semi-autos here in the USA. Some people claim that only about 100 came in, but I've also seen people say about 450. I tend to believe a little bit on the higher end. I think it's just because they're so desirable and Swiss that they tend to go for what they do. But anyway, there's definitely fewer than 500 in this country. And this is the -1, which means it has the original GP90, which is the Swiss 5.6 cartridge twist rate of 1 in 10. The 550-2 has the NATO 1 in 7 rate. This is a really interesting gun. It's its own gun. It definitely takes inspiration from both the AK and the AR-15. It is a long stroke gas piston system, like on an AK. It uses a rotating bolt. I don't think you can see in there, but you can look at pictures. Like on an AK with 2 lugs. It has a 2-position gas valve, flip-up night sights. Interestingly, this is a 20.9-inch barrel, and the flash hider is actually one piece. It's not the whole barrel from chamber to flash hider is machined out of one piece. Because this is a semi-auto export version, the grenade ring isn't cut and the bayonet lug is left off. The lug would be down here. They did that, I don't know, just being Swiss. But from the AR-15, it has first a very nice trigger, and the safety is ambidextrous, but it's placed in a very similar way. It has a last round hold open with the bolt release here. Different shape to an AR, but the same general concept of how it rocks. Being Swiss, it has a folding trigger guard, which allows you to use winter gloves or mittens, and it folds both directions, so left hand, right hand. This trigger is nice. It's also adjustable. You can adjust the tension. It is a 2-piece receiver design, again like an AR. You have pins here you press in, and then you can pull out, and then the gun breaks open, much like an AR-15. The trigger group is its own thing, but still similar. The recoil system, as you can see, is actually in the front, where the springs around the piston, not in the back. It's kind of unique. It field strips very easily. No tools required, even to take the gas cylinder off and handguards off. They just slide on. Other features, we've got diopter sights in the back that are adjustable for windage and elevation. These would have night inserts if they weren't expired because it's old. Has a side folding buttstock. This is the early style with more of the concave butt plate, and of course it's in the green color. Very nice stock. The 550, the standard infantry rifle, has this nice little folding bipod, which you can see me shooting off of for a few rounds in the video. It's very much like the one on the PE-57 Stg W57, in that it rotates forward, back. To make it more free-floated, it's actually attached to the handguards, not the barrel itself. It also is made of lightweight alloy. It's okay, but it's probably my least favorite. It's neat to have, but it's kind of a little bit flimsy. Tractor coming, sorry. It feeds from translucent 20-round magazines as standard that lock together much like a G36, if you guys know that. In fact, the G36 HK took this mag design for themselves and used it. Pistol grip has a storage compartment in it with a troop tag, if you know the K31, often called erroneously a Schmidt-Rubin, same style of troop tag. Again, real smooth action, upswept charging handle. If we weren't out in the field, I'd disassemble it, but to take it out, you just press down on this, pull the handle out, the bolt carrier slides out the back. You just rotate this cylinder, the piston slides out the front. Sorry, had a little interruption there. About done anyway. This is an original Swiss military sling. It's kind of interesting. It's the same green as the furniture. It also has these little curly Q hooks, so there's no snaps. It just loops around. You'd think it would come off, but it works real well. This is steel, and it's treated with kind of a finish that keeps it from marring up. I'm sure it's to help it keep it from rusting in the, you know, the rain, snow, and all that. It's an interesting sling. I like how it's adjustable. It's a 3-position, and a 3-point that you can pull this off and convert it. It's got a slider down here. It works really well in the carbines. It's a little short for the rifles. From what I've read, a lot of the Swiss soldiers will actually use paracord to get extended, but it's a, you know, just a standard military sling. Well, this is the 550, also the STG, the semi-automatic version of the STG90, and I'm really happy to get it. Not many out there, and just a really nice gun. It's also probably the tightest of my 55X guns. It's just there's very little play upper to lower. Just really nice, smooth, and shoots really well. Very light recoil. You know, has a little bit of pushback. Absolutely no muzzle rise. And if you can get over the kind of the front end heaviness of it, which is not that heavy compared to say an FAL, but for a 223, it's definitely one of the heavier, longer guns. But yeah, we shot it today, put several rounds through it today and last weekend, and did great both times. I'm much in debt to my friend that did this one for me. You can see in the blog what happened, but worked out really well. It's one gun I'm very proud of. We'll move on. And continuing, this is a gun you've seen before, at least if you watched some of our other videos. This is my SIG SG551-2 SWAT. This is a law enforcement surplus gun. I got it off of Mike Machines, Mike Otte, a couple of years ago, and still very happy with it. It's a legitimate, made in Switzerland, still under the old SIG name before they went to SAN. SIG Arms, Swiss Arms Neuhausen, but it's all Swiss because it's exempt from 922R. It still has the original 14.3-inch barrel with the extension put on that screws into the internal thread, so it's very easily to take off once you do SBR pad work, if you do. Again, flip night sights, but dead because of age. This is mechanically the same gun as the 550, but it has a shorter gas system, shorter handguards with this little hump here. No bipod, as you see. It's still in Swiss gray, but it's black furniture, as you see. Same it's folding stock, really nice stock. Same diopter sights. I've got a 30-round Swiss mag in it because that seems to be the more common one. I've also got a later style black sling with the HK type hooks, but the cloth is the same except for being black. But this gun just shoots really well. It's a lot of fun. A little more felt recoil because of the shorter size and lighter weight than the 550. These were used in very limited numbers, or are used, I should say, they're still in service, by the Swiss military as the Stg W9d, I assume for Kurs. You can read about them in the blog section, but just a great gun, and this is the first true Swiss gun I ever owned, and I blame SIG Arms, SIG Sauer USA. If they had delivered a true 550 or even a really good 551 copy from day one, I probably never would have jumped down this crazy rabbit hole that is Swiss collecting of these very high-end guns that are fantastic. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, this is the 551, all Swiss. And we were just taking it out to let it stretch its legs today. We'll move on. And just to compare to the original SG551-2, we brought out my old SIG 551-A1. I purchased this rifle new from CD&N back in 2011. In fact, it was our first video ever on YouTube. When I found the 551-2, I sold this to the father of a friend, and he has it ever since and still enjoys it. I think we've done a few more alterations to it before I sold it and after a video, mainly installing these actual real Swiss diopter rear sight styles on this rail that bolts on. And up here there is also a flip night sight that we never get installed, but it's in the pistol grip, I think. Other changes from the original 551A1 were the addition of Swiss handguards, which you wouldn't think would be a big deal, but trust me, if you have one, put Swiss handguards on it, you'll thank me later. Also, this is a 550 style flash hider from Colorado Gun Sales I picked up years ago. Fits on really well, times perfectly, very happy with it. I think originally there was a bayonet lug here, but got taken off at some point for some reason. That's about the only changes really made of note. Shoots very well. As you can see, it's very similar on the upside to an original. The gas system and everything still 2-position. Of course, the barrel's longer, 16.1 inches plus the muzzle device. The charging handle is horizontal, doesn't have the upward sweep, and the rubber is a little bit different. The pistol grip is different because the trigger guard is more AR style, it folds down. The trigger is the same, but it's American made. The mag catch is a different style. I mean, it's the same style, I should say, but it's made a little bit differently. Still takes Swiss mags. The lower is made out of machined aluminum. It's somewhat similar to the lower on the newer 553s, the 553AL in military service, or just the 553P here. Oh, we did put these takedown pins from MFI that look like Swiss pins, but they actually function like AR-15. You just push them out, they're captured pins. They don't have the detent, but yeah, let's do that. As I said in the first 551 video, this is a good gun. It shoots well. It still shoots well. Still digests Tula, Wolf. I have to admit, of course, I like my Swiss gun a lot. But as far as play between upper and lower, they're really about the same. Maybe just a tad less with the Swiss, but not a whole lot. Stock's the same because this is one of the ones made with an original stock. Later, SIG did a bait and switch and started putting copy stocks on, much like they did with the copy handguards. But I have to say this original 551 in the 43A style serial range, they did a very good job at the beginning. Still a few things like why didn't they put real diopters, not those fake cheesy ones on, and so on and so forth. But still shoots well. I can't say I regret selling it to get the original, but the 551A1 is not a bad substitute for, you know, if that's what you can find and get with. They are. This style, at least, is very well made. SIG's decision to cancel the 556 and the 551A1 in favor of the 556 XI was an incorrect one. It was wrong. But they'll have to learn it with sales. You know, that's how it goes. But yeah, we just thought we'd test it side by side, shoot it side by side with the real 551-2, and it performed quite well. You know, that's just how it is. So we'll move on. And our last gun today is the SAN, S-A-N, SG553P. Now, this is not the same 553P you saw in our first Swiss video. That one I sold for a reasonable profit back when they were still worth over $4,000. I'm glad I did, because when SIG USA, SIG Sauer here, started importing them, the price tanked to $35,000, then $3,000, and even a little bit lower at times. So I sold that one before that happened, and I'm happy. And then I picked this one up just recently from my friends over at Ratworks. Great people, always good. These are still all Swiss made, still imported, still have diopter sight, still have the front night sight, which is nice. A few minor changes. Instead of the 550 style flash hider bird cage screwed on like on the original M&M one, this one has a 553 3-prong style flash hider, which I like, if nothing else, for this reason, if you can hear it on the camera. Listen carefully. I love that little ring. Same with my G36. But yeah, the hand guards are still the same short style with the 5 holes in them. They're cut down from original 550 hand guards at the factory. It's got a block in the back, so you know, instead of a stock, to make it a pistol. Still the same folding trigger guard. Everything's the same. It has the lightweight aluminum lower, which is used on some of the military guns. The 553 AL comes to mind. It's an option. It's not standard, but it's an option. And it does really help it be a little bit lighter, which is nice being a pistol. And I like the look. You can see it's similar to the US SIG Sauer machined 551 type lower, but the lightning cuts are a little deeper and it doesn't bulge out at the front because it takes Swiss takedown pins. And yeah, this is pretty much it. You'll notice too, this one isn't double roll marked. That was only the first batch from SIG Sauer that had the double markings, the original M&M, and then theirs. This one just has the single SIG Sauer Exeter, New Hampshire marks. So that's kind of nice that they got away from stamping them more than they had to. 100% reliable. We did notice with some steel cased ammo, such as Wolf, we had to put it on the alternative gas setting, but with you know, brass cased or hotly loaded steel case NATO spec, it ran fine even as a pistol. So very impressive. It doesn't so much recoil as a pistol as it tries to twist out of your hand as the bullet spins out. So it kind of twists to the side and up a bit, but not bad. And you know, you get used to it. It's a lot of fun. It's all Swiss, and now that they're you know, just a bit over, somewhere between $3,000 and $3,500. Still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's a lot better than when they first came out and they were going for $5,000 and up. So it puts it in range from, oh my god, I could never afford it, to that would definitely be a saver-upper type gun. So that's kind of where they're at now, and they have a lot of potential. Very easy SBR to do it. All you have to knock out is a pin here and then a pin, and then just slide this back plate off, and that's about it. Put a stock on at your leisure once you file your SBR paperwork. But had a lot of fun today firing Swiss guns. Maybe next time we'll bring out the P57 again, the AM57-1 from Honey Creek, who knows? You know, or maybe the P49, the P210. You know, there's still plenty of Swiss guns to show off and have a lot of fun with. But yeah, we were just out enjoying this nice day, and it's coming to an end. And thanks for tuning in. And again, read the blog for more in-depth information about these great firearms.